Hi friends, so I want to do a shout out today to a few of you who suggested that I do this video about famous people who died on their birthdays. And there's also one person who died on his birthday that I'm also going to share because it's just so interesting and so difficult to believe, really. I mean, the odds are incredible. So I want to do a shout out and say thank you to the following people: Rosemary Ward, Bat Bat, Rita Amaya, Deutsche, and Michelle Eaton. I hope I didn't forget anyone. So thanks for suggesting that I do this video about famous people who died on their birthday. In addition to the viewers that I just mentioned, Robert Sanchez, who also watches this channel, left me a comment recently letting me know that his great-grandfather was born on Christmas Day in 1881 and then later died on Christmas Day in 1944. I'm pretty sure that the odds of dying on your birthday are pretty small, but if your birthday happens to be Christmas Day, I'm guessing that the odds are incredibly low that this would ever happen. So thanks, Robert, for sharing the memory of your great-grandfather with us by sending this very nice photo of his gravesite, and also for sending the selfie of you in front of Judy Garland's crypt. It wasn't planned, but it just so happens that the niche of the first person I'm visiting today is located in the Abbey of the Psalms Mausoleum at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and Judy Garland's crypt is also located here. Character actress Gertrude Astor appeared in hundreds of movies and TV shows over a 50-plus year career. She got her start in silent films back in 1915, and sadly more than 100 years later, it seems that she's nearly been forgotten by most fans. It's all the way up here. I don't know if you can see it. So she died on her birthday, and she was in, I believe, more than 250 movies in her very impressive career. But many of you will probably remember her best for her roles with Laurel and Hardy and the Little Rascals Our Gang movies. So I found this by coming in through the front door, going to the last corridor, making a left, all the way down to the right. Even though it's dark and difficult to read, the plaque on her niche has her birth date listed as 1877, which would have made her 100 years old when she died in 1977. But her Wikipedia page and Find a Grave page both have her date of birth listed as 1887 instead of 1877. Information online is often incorrect, so I would tend to think that this plaque is correct, but I've seen incorrect dates and information on headstones as well, so there's no guarantee that this is correct. So if any of you genealogy buffs have seen her actual birth certificate and know which date is correct, please share with us in the comments below. Astor was born November 9th in Lakewood, Ohio, and died on her birthday, November 9th, in 1977. She was either 90 or 100 years old and died from a stroke in Woodland Hills, California. My next stop is Fairhaven Cemetery in Orange County, California, not too far from Disneyland. It's located in the city of Santa Ana, which is about an hour or so south of Hollywood. You may remember that I was here last year to visit the final resting place of singer Jim Morrison's girlfriend/wife, Pamela Sue Morrison. Today I'm here to visit the gravesite of Holocaust survivor and best-selling author Corrie Ten Boom. Ten Boom was born April 15, 1892 in Amsterdam and died on her birthday, April 15, 1983 in Placentia, California, at the age of 91 following a stroke. So how many of you are familiar with Corrie Ten Boom? She was in the Nazi resistance during World War II. She and her family took in Jews that were being persecuted by the Nazis at the time. Now they were discovered, and she also was arrested and sent to a concentration camp. Fortunately, she did survive, and she's buried here today in Santa Ana, California, just right in front of the mausoleum that I visited last year. It's nice to see that Corrie has been remembered. When I arrived, she had these flowers here at her grave, as well as the holiday decorations for the new year. You can see the word hope, the wreath there. I don't know, hopefully it's so bright I can't really see. Hopefully you can see her gravesite there. Ten Boom was a popular author, but she's probably best remembered for her 1971 bestseller, The Hiding Place. And in 1975, the book was turned into a movie as well. Actress Ingrid Bergman was born on August 29, 1915, and died August 29, 1982. She died in London, England, at the age of 67 from breast cancer. She was cremated, and her ashes were scattered in Sweden. Bergman won 3 Academy Awards, 2 Grammy Awards, 4 Golden Globe Awards, a Tony Award, and a BAFTA Award. She's probably best remembered today for her role as Ilsa Lund in the 1942 film classic Casablanca. Poet, playwright, and actor William Shakespeare was born April 23, 1564, and died April 23, 1616. He died at the young age of 52, and the exact cause of his death remains unknown. Shakespeare is regarded as one of the world's greatest dramatists and one of the most popular authors of all time. He's buried at the Church of the Holy Trinity at Stratford-upon-Avon in England. Country singer Mel Street was born on October 21, 1935, and committed suicide by gunshot on his 43rd birthday, October 21, 1978. He reportedly suffered from clinical depression and alcoholism. He had his first big hit in 1972 with the song Borrowed Angel. In the same year, he had his biggest hit with the song Lovin' on Back Streets. He had a number of other hits throughout the 1970s as well. Sidney Bechet was an early popular jazz musician who was born on May 14, 1897, and died on his birthday, May 14, 1959, at the age of 62 from lung cancer. He died in Garches, France, and is buried at the Cimetière des Garches, just outside of Paris. Fran Warren was a popular singer back in the 1940s and 50s. Her biggest hit was a duet with singer Tony Martin called I Said My Pajamas and Put on My Prayers. Warren was born March 4th, 1925, and died on her birthday, March 4th, 2013, at the age of 87 in Brookfield, Connecticut. Warren died of natural causes at the age of 87, and sadly, the whereabouts of her final resting place is unknown at this time. Johnny Longden was a Hall of Fame horse jockey and legend in the field of horse racing. He won the Triple Crown in 1943, and he won the Kentucky Derby in 1969. He was born on February 14, 1907, and died on his birthday, February 14, 2003, at the age of 95 in Banning, California. He was cremated and has no final resting place. Like Robert Sanchez's great-grandfather, who I mentioned at the beginning of this video, who was born and died on Christmas Day, Johnny Longden was born and died on Valentine's Day, which is equally as rare. Joe Tinker was a professional baseball player in the early days with the Chicago Cubs. He was born July 27, 1880, and died on his birthday, July 27, 1948. He died in Orlando, Florida, from complications of diabetes at the age of 68, and he's buried at Greenwood Cemetery in Orlando, Florida. Author and civil rights activist Ella Josephine Baker was born December 13, 1903, and died on her birthday, December 13, 1986. She died in Manhattan, New York, at the age of 83, and is buried in Flushing Cemetery in New York. As a civil rights activist, Baker worked behind the scenes to help the cause of bigger names such as W.E.B. Du Bois, Thurgood Marshall, A. Philip Randolph, and Martin Luther King Jr. Feminist writer and women's rights activist Betty Friedan was born February 4th, 1921, and died on her birthday, February 4th, 2006. She died in Washington, D.C. from congestive heart failure at the age of 85. She's laid to rest at Sag Harbor Jewish Cemetery in Sag Harbor, New York. And she's best remembered for her 1963 bestseller, The Feminine Mystique, which is credited with reigniting the feminist movement in America in the 20th century. Franklin D. Roosevelt Jr. was the son of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was born August 17, 1914, and died on his birthday, August 17, 1988. He died at the age of 74 from lung cancer in Poughkeepsie, New York. He's buried at the St. James Episcopal Churchyard in Hyde Park, New York. Some of you may remember that last year, right after actor Tab Hunter died, just 3 days short of his 86th birthday, I visited his gravesite at the Santa Barbara Cemetery. At that time, he didn't have a headstone, just flowers, and I was pretty sure it was his grave, but I wasn't positive. So Keith Kendrick and his partner John, that's them pictured here, who also have family buried there at the cemetery, sent me this picture of Tab Hunter's headstone to confirm that I was in the right place. So I just wanted to give Keith and John a shout out and say thanks for sharing these pictures with us. And if any of you watching have cemetery selfies or gravesite photos that you'd like to share with us, I'll put my email address down below this video and I invite you to send them. If you do send photos or short videos for me to share in my future vlogs, then I'll give you a shout out as well. And a while back, I did a survey on this channel. I wasn't surprised that people thought the worst day to die would be Christmas Day, but I was a little surprised, actually I was very surprised, that so many people felt that dying on your birthday was the second worst day to die. And the reason I was surprised is because I've always said, for years I've said, if I could choose the day to die, I would choose my birthday. I just think that would be the best day to die. I mean, I don't want to die on my birthday anytime soon, but maybe when I'm 100 years old to die on my birthday, that just seems so perfect. So you guys are all really awesome for, giving me thumbs up and leaving so many really great comments and sharing these videos with your friends and subscribing. Anyway, until next time, thanks for sharing the memories.